Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I've honestly lost track of time. We're halfway through 2024, so I thought it would be the perfect time to sit down and film a video all about the best makeup that I've tried in 2024 so far. I will say that some of the products that I've used in this video are not new releases. No, they're definitely not products I've launched in 2024, but they are new to me and they are definitely products that I've tried this year. Also, I have an Instagram page called Too Much Blush where I post very frequently mini reviews, speed reviews, a lot of makeup content. So it's a lot of fun. Make sure you check it out. I don't know what came over me, but I ended up doing my eyeliner before the video, one step out of the way. So I've continuously praised the Kosas Revealer Concealer and the Dior Skin Forever on this channel, but I ended up discovering another concealer this year that has worked very well for me, and this is from Tower 28. I've heard a lot of good things about this concealer. Everything people have said is true. It's incredible. It's very similar to the Kosas Revealer Concealer, so they're both very creamy. This one's very creamy as well. It's very hydrating, which is exactly what I need with very dry eyes and very dry skin in general. It's not as hydrating as the Kosas one, but the creasing on this is minor. I mean, I do expect some creasing from concealers, but it's not terrible. It has decent coverage and it doesn't make my under eyes look flat. Like, you know, sometimes when you apply concealer and they just end up looking very sunken and dead. But this concealer from Tower 28 has been the best base product that I've used in 2024. So the eyeshadow category was definitely the most difficult for me. It was very difficult to choose just one product to mention on this list, but I ended up going with the RMS Eyelights in the shade Strobe specifically, because this is the only shade that I've tried. And it is such a fantastic, gorgeous formula. First of all, the shade, it's such a beautiful neutral, like this perfect balance between warm and cool, and it's the perfect shade for not only an everyday look but something you could wear out at night. I think the versatility here just makes this fantastic, and it's very sophisticated. Also, it doesn't crease, so it doesn't crease easily. Like, I can put this on, and if I'm not in a very hot environment, I can expect this to last. The packaging, it ends up getting very messy. From the looks of it, it's very pretty, but just the functionality aspect is where, like, my only critique. And the best part is I don't need to use a brush with this. Sometimes I just don't have the energy or the time to find a brush, open an entire palette, and it's just, this one's so easy. It looks like I've applied 3 or 4 different shades when I've just applied one. I start with a small amount and slowly build everything up. Again, one thing to note is that these set very quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to work with the formula. So it is quite buildable for a formula that sets so quickly. And for mascara, so I wanted to highlight the Essence False Lash Effect mascara, but I've already mentioned it in several videos here on YouTube and on my Instagram as well. So, you know, it's something that's been spoken about a lot. It's a viral product, so I thought I should take this opportunity to highlight another incredible mascara formula that I stumbled across this year, and this is from Bobbi Brown. This is the Bobbi Brown Smokey Eye Mascara, and I was amazed. So I didn't expect a lot from this formula. I thought it's going to be just another mascara. Not every mascara is the same, and there are certain things that I'm looking for in a formula. This one was amazing. It exceeded expectations. So it's jet black, gives me so much length, like instantly. It separates the lashes. So I haven't put anything here, and this is just one coat. So I've put 2 coats on both eyes and some on the lower lash as well. It doesn't happen very often that I give something holy grail status so quickly. And even though these 2 formulas, this is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, even though these 2 formulas are very similar, I think the Bobbi Brown, it doesn't flake. Like, I can never see any fallout, like only if I've rubbed my eyes or something like that. So it doesn't end up flaking across my face. This one can sometimes do that, but honestly, for the price point, I can't complain. The Essence False Effect Lash Princess Mascara is amazing, but this one from Bobbi Brown, it ticks every box. So moving to bronzers, I think this one's pretty obvious. This is from Makeup by Mario. It's the Soft Sculpt transforming skin enhancer in the shade light medium. It's just such a fantastic product. I've made a significant dent, and bronzers are generally not a category that I'm very fond of. Like, it's not something that I reach for all the time. So for me to say that I've enjoyed using a bronzer so much, for applying bronzer, I really like using the Real Techniques RT200 brush. It's just very angular. Is that it's very skin-like. The name of the product is very apt. It's like the SoftSculpt skin enhancing product. Like, I know it's a lot of words, but for some reason they actually do make sense, because it doesn't sit on top of the skin as if it's some sort of heavy layer. Like, it's an external layer sitting on top of your face, and so it's very skin-like. It's balmy without being dewy, and it's a very effortless formula to blend. Like, it just takes me seconds to blend everything into my skin, so it's not harsh. I can't see where the bronzer ends and begins, and the shade is very balanced, so it's very neutral. It's not too orange or gray. So moving on to blush, so many options to choose from. It was very difficult to narrow down just, you know, 2 products, but I did end up going with a liquid and a powder blush. So for the cream blush category, I had to choose the E.L.F Camo liquid blush in the shade Pinky Promise. This has been such an amazing find. I am not a fan of liquid blushes, as I've mentioned before. They just don't work for me, but for some reason this product ended up being fantastic. It's so easy to use. So it is very pigmented, and this is a bright shade, so I'm going in with a very small amount. I find that if I go in with a small amount, I have a lot of control over the pigment. So it's a beautiful shade. It's very pigmented, and the best part is that this blush isn't patchy. So what I mean by patchy is that when I apply it, I don't see it bunching up somewhere, you know, collecting around certain areas on my face. So it's an extremely buildable formula. It lasts a long time. It doesn't end up looking patchy on my skin. I can apply it with a brush, a sponge, or even my fingers. It's so versatile, and for the price point, I think it's really impressive. It was very difficult for me to decide the powder blush categories, but I think if I had to pick, it would be the RMS Beauty ReDimension Hydra powder blush in the shade Maiden's Blush. I'm used to using very matte blurring formulas because I am someone who struggles with skin texture. So for me to go in with something that has some sort of a luminosity to it, it's quite a departure from tradition, I'd say. So I'm taking the E.L.F Flawless Face Brush. So even though it's very luminous, it doesn't highlight or pick up on anything on my face. And as time goes by, this formula just melts into my skin, and it gives me the most beautiful sun-kissed glow. And I don't have to sacrifice good skin for that. It doesn't make me look flat. It's very difficult to describe, but there's just something so stunning about this formula. And if you're someone who has struggled with texture, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Blushes are released almost every single day. Like every week we have a new blush coming out, and I'm very sorry to say most of them are very mediocre because there's only so much you can do with a blush formula. This one, on the other hand, is truly worth the money in my opinion. It's one of those luxury products do stand out. So we're finally down to the last category, the lip products. But I've genuinely discovered the power of an amazing lip liner in 2024. And I have to mention this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I have so many shades, but the first one that I ended up getting was Cool Brown. This is the one that started it all for me. So this is the shade Cool Brown swatched on the back of my hand. So this liner is a traditional wooden pencil. So it's not drying, but it's also not creamy. And that's, I think, the perfect balance for me, because a lot of lip liners, either they end up being too dry and dragging across my lips, or they're so creamy that they end up being a lip product in their own right, like a lipstick almost. I've highlighted this formula so much on my channel, on my Instagram. I don't think I need to say more. So this is Cool Brown across my lip. Amazing lip liner formula. They have so many fantastic shades that go with almost every lip product. For a matte lipstick, I think the best one that I tried this year was from Fenty Beauty. The Fenty Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade the MVP. As far as reds go, this has to be one of the most stunning red shades that I've ever tried in my life. Like right up there with Velvet Ribbon from Lisa Eldridge or Violet FR Amour Fou. So this is the shade swatched on the back of my hand. It's an amazing blue toned, very vibrant cherry red. Like it's such a bright, beautiful red. It has a very whipped, moussey texture, and it's not very thin like a traditional matte lipstick. Really one of the best red shades that I've used, very cinematic. And this is the finished look. And yes, this was my list of favorite products that I've tried in 2024, the hits, the highlights. I would be very interested to know if there was anything on your list that matched with mine. So do make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I would be very grateful if you'd consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video. It helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, I will see you very soon in the next one.